So this is going to be Cloud Kingdom. What's really cool about this map is that it was one of the maps made by the foreign team, ESV. One of the first ones to be accepted into tournament play. But let's go ahead and talk about our players a little bit more. This is spawning in the lower left-hand corner of ESV's Cloud Kingdom. We have our yellow Protoss, Crane. And spawning in the upper right-hand corner of the map, we have our blue Protoss, GamaniaGow. Of course, a little bit of banter going on. I wish I could talk to them, but I can't. I'm not a ref. I like wearing stripes. I'm a big fan of the stripes, but you know, asking if his opponent's a pro as if he's going to change his build order based on that. It's like, oh, you're on FXO. Well, maybe I'll do something different. Maybe I'm not going to cheese you. Maybe I'm not going to throw down 2 racks in your 2 gates in your main now. I feel a lot more comfortable not doing that. What are we looking at? Oh, no, both players. All right, getting gateways. I got a little bit distracted for a moment and then came back, and all of a sudden there's a gateway going down. One player didn't have one. I was like, oh, God, did I just lie to the entire audience? Did I tell them, in fact, that there was no proxy gates, and there actually were? Creamy Turtle has left the game. I can read Korean. Aren't you impressed with me? Alright, so both gates going down. One person on 12, one person on 13, but it doesn't really matter. Both players grabbing that single gas. We'll see where it goes from here. The question, of course, is always whether or not that second gas goes down and who sees what. Both players are getting those first 2 chrono boosts out on their neck's eye, as you would imagine, because they want to keep up with each other as far as probes are concerned. And this is where deviations can start to happen. When that second gas goes down, you know, there's still actually debate over what's the most efficient way to grab that second gas. Because when it comes down to it, you really don't need anything else at this point. You can sufficiently make probes. You can sufficiently make pylons and the cybernetics core, and you have enough money to afford this gas. But you have no reason to have it unless you're going to be taking up really, really quickly. It looks like both players are going to opt to take that second gas. I wish I liked it because it means we're going to go to something fairly interesting. Hopefully it means we'll be seeing some robo play. Now, out of GamaniaGow, we saw him do twice in a row some sort of proxy robo build with that warp prism into some sort of fort gate, which is kind of a really, really neat build. I've actually seen that before in the New England StarCraft 2 League a couple times. It's always a nice thing to do, but it's also very, very risky, because if it gets scouted, your opponent's going to have units in the back of their base and ready to go. He's not going to be defending all the way at his front. In fact, he can get pretty much 1 sentry down in his front, and he'll be in a nice position to not have to really worry about anything. Crane for you gets a full scout of his opponent, sees the 2 gates up, sees the that chrono boost is being saved up a little bit. Over here on the other side, we see that chrono boost being spent on probes, and that's really, really what's interesting, because check this out. GamaniaGow going for that Stargate. Looks like he's really, really going to mix it up. He's throwing his opponent into kind of a loop. You know, in fact, look, there's a zealot running around here for Crane, just looking for any possible place that a proxy robo would be, whereas his opponent just going for that Stargate instead. So this is actually a little bit of a build order loss, for Crane. Crane going for that robo to try to keep up with his opponent who might be roboing behind this, as he does have 2 gas. So 1 gate, 1 robo, and his opponent's going Stargate. See if those Phoenixes come out immediately. We do. So we see those Phoenixes coming out immediately. Immortals are going to be pretty much useless. We do see a Twilight Council coming out for Crane, which means that Blink can come out, which will be really, really nice against any Phoenixes that come out. But when it comes down to it, if harassment can be done with these Phoenixes, and if they can lift off any Immortals in any engagements whatsoever, GamaniaGow has no reason not to come out ahead. Oh, my mouse is freaking out, and so you're going to have to look at this area while I get that figured out. Crane, very, very nice, has this as on like a watchtower, so he sees the Phoenix go by, and is actually going to get 1 shot on it. Oh, is this Phoenix going to go down? These Stalkers are moving into beautiful position to deal as much damage as possible. The Phoenix does get in the base. He sees the Robo goes down. He sees the Twilight Council. He knows everything that his opponent is doing. And that Phoenix is worth it in that case. You know, even if he had lost it after he saw everything, He had a full scout of his opponent, and he knew it was coming his way. Yeah, so he has this robo. This is actually really investing heavily in what he's doing. He invested heavily into the Stargate. He invested heavily in a robo, and now he has 4 gates down. He's going to be pretty behind in units because of this. I guess on the other hand, his opponent has that robotics facility out. Let's see, where do we have? Do we have an observer out yet? It doesn't look like we have an observer out, but Blink is on the way. Blink Obs is pretty much, you know, that. Oh, there's the observer. I knew there was one around, sneaking around. So Obs is on the field, which means that Blink is going to come out, but the question is, will GamaniaGow be able to get this observer out and spot his opponent's observer before any aggression actually comes up? Blink's almost finished up. We see a pylon going down for GamaniaGow. This could actually get really messy. It looks like we have all these stalkers moving out, and Crane moving his observer into position. Meanwhile, let's see, where is Gamma's observer? It's over here. It's looking around to the best of his ability. The Phoenix is going right next to it in some attempt to find it, but that observer's just now at the front of the base. If he can kill that, this is going to be a completely difficult position for Crane to do anything from. He's going to have no high ground vision. He just has a probe out here, and that's going to be pretty much useless. GamaniaGow saying, you know, I don't understand this move. Honestly, I want to say that I do, but GamaniaGow going for a Dark Shrine. Oh, the observer gets spotted. It does get killed. Where is that Dark Shrine? Is it way in the back? Looks like it is in the back. Honestly, GamaniaGow has invested so heavily in random tech, and he knows that his opponent has observer capabilities. The DT Shrine, I don't think it's a good idea. It will provide a lot of extra DPS in any head-on engagements, but if Crane knows at all what he's doing, he's going to focus those DTs down in a matter of seconds. He has this robo. He should be making a couple more observers. Like I said, with that observer buff, I'm not surprised when players tend to go for like 2 or 3 observers, but of course that's not what we see right now coming out from our opponent, coming out from our player Crane. I don't think he has any in his opponent's base anymore either. Nope, and look at this Gow coming out. He is making a couple of those observers. He wants to feel as safe as possible. Moving now out onto the field with a bunch of zealots. It's a very zealot-heavy army. No stalkers even in this mix. I don't even think he has stalkers on the map at this point. So very interesting unit comp. It's not like he's going for one of those standard Sentry Immortal pushes. This is hugely zealot-heavy. Of course, our player Crane does in fact have Blink out already, so that's going to be useful in his favor. There is a sentry here to try to force field wherever possible, and there's also also an observer. Where are those DTs warping in? That's the big question. Where are those DTs? Where are those DTs? There's one. I spotted one. I think there are actually 2 getting warped in. Alright, oh, there's the other one. Right out front. We see this pylon going down. Phoenix is moving forward, going to be able to get a good scout on anything. If they can lift those Immortals, this battle changes quite a bit. But this is a beautiful wall-off from Crane right now. He has 3 pylons in this gateway, so a very thin choke over here. Does he have an observer ready? He does. He targets down that Dark Templar in a matter of moments. Phoenix is flying, completely useless, not doing anything right now. Going back into the mineral line maybe to try to do some damage, but they're not really being used effectively whatsoever. A ton of these zealots going down. This is just too much DPS here to even deal with that. Phoenix is completely useless. Crane says, I'm ready. I'm going to blink back up and take care of your Phoenixes because you are just being sloppy as hell. Gow is now in a terrible position. He is going to be so far behind. He does have, he's going for those pylons. If he can take out enough pylons, he's going to be in a nice position because Crane won't be able to do anything after that. But his army is just huge, so it's not like he has anything to worry about at this point. He should be able to take out everything, and that's going to be it for Gow. Crane is in the position to take this game. Once these Immortals go down, I imagine that Gow's just going to have to GG out of here, and that will be it for him. We will say bye, and we will go on to our grand finals. To see the match between Crane and whoever is playing against him. I don't remember who won that last game. GG, well played, coming out. Always manner fellow. Those Gamma Bears.